Have you ever felt like life just decided to play a cruel joke on you? That's exactly how I felt that morning. My name is Emma. I'm 17, and I had just learned that my life was about to change forever. My mom announced she was marrying Todd, a wealthy man with a huge suburban house I had never even met. And if that wasn't enough, I had to leave my boyfriend Jake and my best friend Lily behind. My old home was small, cozy, and full of memories, and leaving it was incredibly painful. Every little thing I packed reminded me of moments when Jake held my hand, or when Lily and I laughed until we cried. But now I had to move into a house that immediately felt cold and foreign. Huge, with high ceilings, glass doors, and perfectly trimmed lawns. It all screamed wealth and distance. Todd was polite, but there was a certain distance. And Logan was the real problem. From the first day, he looked at me as if I had invaded his territory, and I felt like every word I said and every move I made was being carefully judged. I tried to be polite, but he only responded with sarcasm or cold remarks, making me feel invisible and frustrated at the same time. To make matters worse, one evening I stumbled upon a message on Jake's phone. My eyes widened, and my heart stopped. Jake and Lily, they were together. My hands shook, and my heart felt like it shattered into pieces. I knew one thing. I wasn't just disappointed, I wanted revenge. Then I heard about the party. The party where Logan would be racing go-karts. An idea began forming in my head. I would go, find someone to kiss, and send the photo to Jake. It would be a small, precise revenge, just enough to make him feel it. I imagined his face when he saw it, but life loves surprises. I had no idea that this night would change not only my plan for revenge, but also my heart. The party was loud and fun. The music hit my chest like a pulse, and the laughter and voices felt like a waterfall of emotions. People danced, laughed, and took photos. I stood by the bar, watching Logan, surrounded by friends, acting overly confident. I was looking for someone suitable for my plan, someone bold and independent. But suddenly, Logan approached me. I felt a wave of unexpected warmth and fear all at once. And then it happened. We kissed for the photo. Yes, it was an accidental kiss, initially just a joke for Jake's sake. But something inside me changed. My feelings for him were far more complicated than I could have imagined. After that night, everything changed. The next day, I accidentally found myself at the starting line of the go-kart races. And something unbelievable happened. I won. It was a victory that caught everyone's attention and, of course, sparked the first serious fight. Someone disagreed with the result, and chaos erupted. Then Jake showed up. He wanted to make up, to explain, but my heart no longer belonged to him. I had fallen for Logan. I never thought that one accidental night could change my life so drastically. After that kiss with Logan, I couldn't think about anything else. My heart raced every time he was near, and my mind kept imagining scenarios where we laughed, joked, and kissed again. I knew it was strange, since he was my stepbrother, but the feelings were incredibly strong. The next day at home, I tried to act normal, but Logan noticed every little thing I did. We started talking more at first about small stuff, school, the weather, music, but the conversations quickly turned into jokes, teasing, and something like flirting. I caught myself feeling excitement I had never felt with anyone else. Meanwhile, Jake didn't give up. He kept texting, calling, begging for forgiveness, but his words didn't affect me. I only felt irritation. Sometimes I felt like I wanted him to see me with someone else, to feel the same anger and jealousy I had felt earlier. Gradually, I started spending more time with Logan outside the house. We walked in the park, rode bikes, laughed until we cried. Then he suggested I participate in the races. Just for fun, he said. I agreed, not realizing that this fun would change everything. At the starting line, I was nervous, my heart pounding. But once the race began, I felt an incredible sense of freedom and adrenaline. Logan was smiling beside me, and I suddenly noticed he looked at me like I wasn't just his stepsister, but someone very important. And then, unexpectedly, I won. My victory caused conflict. Other racers were envious, and a real fight broke out. Logan was there, protecting me, and I felt I could rely on him in any situation. That moment brought us even closer. We started hiding our feelings from our parents, but every glance, every touch was full of hidden passion. Then, out of nowhere, Jake appeared. He came to make up. His face was serious, his eyes sad. I looked at him and felt only indifference. My heart belonged to Logan. I realized that our romantic bond was stronger than any old TIs, and I would never go back to the past. This was just the beginning of our new story, a story full of secrets, risk, and forbidden feelings. I didn't know that things would get even more dangerous when my father, who had previously been imprisoned for abuse, reappeared trying to take me by force. But I knew one thing: together with Logan, we could face anything. That party that evening was bigger than I expected. Todd's house was packed with people, laughter, music, disco lights. It created an atmosphere of carefreeness I had been missing since moving. I stood slightly aside, trying to look confident, though inside I felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. My eyes fell on Logan. He was laughing with friends, and his smile was so natural that I felt a warmth inside. Then it hit me. Now was the moment to execute my plan. I decided to find someone for Jake's revenge, casual kiss and a photo, sent straight to him. But as I approached the bar, nothing went according to plan. The crowd was large. I tried to find someone familiar, or at least attractive, but no one felt right. Then Logan came up to me. My heart pounded. He smiled and said, "You look a little lost here." I started joking, trying to hide my nerves, and then we accidentally ended up next to a camera, and someone suggested taking a group photo. At one point, Logan leaned closer, and our lips met in the photo. At first, I took it as a joke, part of my plan, but something inside me changed. My feelings for him started growing faster than I could anticipate. After the party, I couldn't think about anything else. Every dream, every thought returned to Logan. We started talking more outside the house, texts, walks, laughter, jokes. I noticed that his touches felt incredibly important, that every word left a mark on my heart. Meanwhile, Jake didn't give up. His messages became more frequent, calls persistent. Sometimes I wanted to answer, just to feel in control. But then I remembered the kiss with Logan and realized my heart no longer belonged to Jake. Conflicts, however, awaited us. The following week, the first serious fight occurred during the go-kart races. I accidentally ended up at the starting line, and to everyone's surprise, I won. Other participants were unhappy, and a fight broke out that could have gone badly. Logan was there, protecting me, and in that moment, I realized I could fully rely on him. This victory became a symbol of our hidden connection. We were still hiding our feelings from our parents, but every touch, every glance was full of passion. I knew our love was forbidden, but incredibly strong. Yet the real challenge was still ahead. Suddenly, Jake appeared, trying to win me back. His eyes were sad, his voice trembling. I looked at him and felt only indifference. My heart belonged to Logan, and I realized I could no longer play in old relationships. The following weeks passed like one long dream. I spent time with Logan, but I still tried to keep my distance in front of our parents. Every meeting was secretive and thrilling. We exchanged funny texts during the day, and in the evening, we met somewhere on the outskirts of town, away from prying eyes. Every kiss felt like a small explosion of emotions, and I could feel myself falling for him more and more each day. One evening, Logan invited me for a walk in the park at night. The light from the street lamps reflected in his eyes, and I realized this moment would be one I would always remember. We sat on a bench, and he held my hand, feeling a warmth I never wanted to let go. His voice was quiet, almost a whisper. I never thought I could feel this strongly for someone. Even you. I felt that something had changed forever. We began discussing our future, trying to figure out how to live in these new secretive relationships. It was scary but incredibly exciting at the same time, but reality wouldn't let us simply enjoy it. Jake didn't give up and decided to come in person to convince me to go back. His face looked empty, his eyes full of regret. I looked at him and felt only indifference. My choice was clear: Logan. Then it happened. Something I had feared. My father, who had previously been imprisoned for domestic abuse, found out where I lived. His goal was to kidnap me to take revenge for the past. I felt a fear I had never known. My heart raced. My thoughts ran like wildfire. Logan didn't hesitate. He was there in the most dangerous moment of my life. Together, we managed to escape the danger. And I realized he wasn't just my love, he was my support, my protector, my everything. After that incident, we could no longer hide our relationship. Our parents found out, and of course, they were completely against it. Yet, Despite their opposition, we stayed together. Our love became stronger than any prohibition, stronger than fear and past mistakes. I realized I would never let Logan go, and that our hearts had chosen each other forever. Logan and I hid from our parents as carefully as we could. Every meeting became a little adventure: evening walks, secret calls, quick kisses in hidden corners of the house. Every moment with him was filled with adrenaline, and I felt more alive than ever before. But reality didn't let us just enjoy it. Todd found out that we were spending a lot of time together and started asking questions. His tone was cold and strict, his eyes watching my every move. I realized that we were taking bigger risks than before. One day, Jake came to our town. I hadn't expected it, and my heart raced when I saw him. He stood in front of me, his smile sad, his voice quiet, almost pleading. "Emma, please, give me another chance." But I felt only indifference. My feelings belonged to Logan, and it was obvious even to me. After that conflict, we decided not to hold back and grew even closer. Every meeting became a chance to express our feelings, even if it was risky. We started planning little escapes from home to spend time together, and it gave me a sense of freedom and joy like never before. But one evening, the unexpected happened. My father, having learned about our relationship, decided to act decisively. He tried to take me by force, and I felt real terror. My heart pounded, my hands shook, but Logan was there. Without hesitation, he rushed to help, protecting me from danger. This event changed everything. We could no longer hide our feelings. Our parents found out about us, and their reaction was predictably negative. Todd and Mom were against it, and my father insisted even more. But our feelings proved stronger than any prohibitions or fears. We realized we would never let each other go. It was a turning point. We were together despite all obstacles. And although the future seemed uncertain and frightening, I knew one thing: with Logan, we could overcome anything. Logan and I had learned to find moments for ourselves, even when the whole world seemed against us. Every secret meeting was filled with emotions that were hard to put into words. We laughed, joked, shared secrets, and our kisses became longer and more tender. Every touch felt like an explosion in my heart, and I couldn't imagine my life without him. One evening, we decided to walk to the old pier by the lake. There, amid the silence of the water and the light of the lamps, Logan took my hand and whispered, "I never thought I could feel this way about someone, even you." I felt my heart pounding harder, realizing I had truly fallen for him. Our secret meetings turned into little adventures, hiding in the park, riding bikes, discussing music and future plans. I realized Logan had become everything to me, not just my lover, but my friend, my support, someone who was always there. But danger was always close. My father didn't give up and tried to find any way to learn about our relationship. I felt fear every time someone knocked on the door or my phone vibrated with an unknown number. Logan was my only protective support. Meanwhile, Jake kept trying to get me back. He came to the town, tried to talk, wrote emotional letters, but my heart was closed to him. Every step he took only confirmed my decision. I no longer belonged to the past. My heart belonged to Logan. Then came the day of the big race. Logan was participating in the go-kart competition, and I accidentally ended up at the starting line. Suddenly, everything went out of control, and I found myself racing alongside him. It turned out I could handle a cart pretty well, and to everyone's surprise, I won. This caused a new wave of jealousy and conflicts among the participants. Logan was there, holding my hand, and I felt that we were truly a team, not just in races, but in life. After the race, we escaped to a quiet place where no one could find us. There, under the stars, we talked about the future, our dreams and fears. We knew our relationship was forbidden, but that didn't lessen the strength of our love. Every touch, every kiss became proof that we were ready to fight for our happiness. After the big race, Logan and I thought we might finally have a little peace, but it was only an illusion. My father didn't give up. He began looking for any way to find out where I was and what I was doing. Every day, he felt his presence, even if he wasn't physically there. The sense of fear never left me for a moment. Logan was always by my side. He started teaching me how to stay unnoticed, how to respond to calls and messages without raising suspicion. His support became an integral part of my life. We began planning even small escapes into nature, where it was just the two of us. Each of these trips strengthened our relationship and trust in each other. But conflicts didn't disappear. Mom found out about the kiss at the party and was shocked. She started threatening that we had to end these unacceptable feelings. I realized I was at a crossroads. Listen to my parents or follow my heart. I chose Logan. Todd also started acting more actively. His coldness and strictness made me feel pressure, and Logan was my only support. Together, we fought for our feelings, even though we knew every step could trigger new conflicts. One evening, an event happened that changed our lives forever. My father decided to personally come and take me. I realized I was in real danger. Logan, without hesitation, rushed to save me. We ran, hid, and during that escape felt both terrifying adrenaline and incredible warmth from each other. That moment showed me that Logan wasn't just a boyfriend, he was my protector, my friend, and my true love. After this, our parents found out about our relationship completely. Their reaction was harsh. They were against it, but we stayed together. We realized that love is stronger than any prohibitions or fears, and we would never let each other go again. After my father tried to kidnap me, everything changed. Logan and I could no longer hide our relationship, even from friends. Everyone started noticing something between us. Glances, touches, smiles. It was both scary and thrilling. I felt like I was living on the edge, but that edge felt magical. Jake didn't give up. His messages became increasingly aggressive. He called me multiple times a day, showed up at school, tried to meet with my parents to convince them that I had lost my way. Every step he took reminded me of the past, but now that past could no longer touch me. My heart belonged to Logan, but the scariest part was ahead. One evening, Logan and I decided to take a walk in the park. It was quiet, only the sound of the river and lamplight creating a peaceful atmosphere. Suddenly, we heard voices and shouts. My father appeared again, this time with people to take me. My heart was pounding, my legs were shaking, and my thoughts ran wild. Logan didn't hesitate. He rushed forward to protect me. He pushed me behind him and stood between me and my father. I felt his heartbeat next to mine and realized that I didn't just love him. I was ready to give everything for him. The fight was short, but fierce. Logan showed that he was not just my boyfriend, but a true hero. After the incident, we returned home, hearts still racing from adrenaline. Mom and Todd found out about our relationship completely. Their reaction was predictably negative. Mom cried, Todd shouted, but we didn't back down. We realized that our love was stronger than any prohibitions or fears. We began living a double life, at home, trying to appear like ordinary siblings, and in private, allowing ourselves everything: kisses, hugs, jokes, and plans for the future. Every day with Logan became a test for our love, but we knew we couldn't live without each other. Jake, realizing he was losing me forever, tried to interfere with our relationship. He came with friends, wrote on social media, tried to sow conflict between my parents and me, but I was no longer afraid of him. My world with Logan was real, and no one could destroy it. One evening, we sat on the roof of our house, looking at the stars. Logan leaned against me, and I felt the warmth of his body flow into me. I never thought I could be this happy, he whispered. And then I realized, despite all dangers, prohibitions, and fears, we had created our own world, where only our love existed. This feeling of freedom and the power of love gave me the strength to face any challenge. I knew that even if our parents were against us, even if Jake tried to interfere, we would stay together. And that realization made me happier than I had ever been. The following days were tense. After all the dangers, we tried to find a normal rhythm of life, but external threats didn't leave us. Jake didn't stop his attempts, and our parents became even stricter. Mom shouted, Todd restricted my freedom, and the shadow of my father constantly hovered over us. One evening, Logan and I decided we couldn't wait any longer. We went on a secret walk to an old warehouse where no one could find us. There, among the empty walls and moonlight, we fully opened up to each other for the first time. Logan hugged me, and I felt that I never wanted to let him go again. But the danger didn't sleep. Suddenly, we heard a car screech to a halt. In front of us stood Jake with his friends. He looked angry and determined. My heart pounded like crazy. I realized this was the moment to act quickly. Logan stood in front of me and said, Don't be afraid. We're together, and no one can stop us. His voice was full of determination and love at the same time. We joined forces, ran through the dark streets, and I felt that my heart would never belong to fear again, only to him. This moment was a turning point. We overcame fear and Jake's threat. After that, we no longer hid our feelings. Our parents found out completely, and although their reaction was negative, we understood one thing: our love was stronger than any prohibitions. After all the adventures, we began to cherish every moment together. We laughed, hugged, joked, and planned our future. Every day with Logan was proof that true love exists, even if the whole world is against it. Then came the feeling of absolute happiness. We sat under the stars, holding hands, and felt that despite all the trials, we had created our own world, where only love and understanding existed. I realized that I had finally found my true happiness, and it was with Logan. After all the dangers and trials, I realized that my relationship with Logan had become a true part of my life. We no longer hid, even though our parents still didn't accept our feelings. Every day was a struggle between wanting to be together and the external pressures of the world. But it was this struggle that made our love stronger. One evening, we decided to meet with our parents to finally talk openly. We sat at the table, hearts racing with anxiety. I looked at my mom and dad, trying to find understanding in their eyes. Logan held my hand, and his calmness was contagious. Mom spoke first, her voice tense. "Emma, you can't. This isn't right." But I didn't back down. "Mom, I don't want to hide anymore. Logan is my love, and I can't live without him." Todd raised his voice too, but Logan calmly replied, "We love each other and are ready to fight for our happiness." Our parents were shocked, but they began to see that our love was real, and the sense of happiness and support between us was undeniable. We shared all the struggles we had faced, the dangers and fears, how we had fought for each other, and although they didn't fully accept our relationship, they saw that we were truly happy. After that, we could enjoy every day together without constant fear. We went on walks, laughed, watched movies, and hugged under the stars. Logan and I became a true team that no one could break. One summer evening, we sat on the pier, holding hands. The water reflected the moonlight, and the wind gently played with our hair. I felt that I could finally breathe freely, that the fear was left behind. Logan whispered in my ear, "We went through everything, and now nothing can separate us." I smiled and kissed him, feeling that I had found my true home in his arms. We no longer hid. Our love had become a part of our life, and although our parents remained cautious, they began to understand that a child's happiness mattered more than any rules. Jake gradually backed off, realizing he could no longer interfere in our lives. And there, sitting together on the pier under the stars, I realized one simple truth: true love doesn't ask for permission, doesn't fear obstacles, and doesn't hide. It lives in the hearts of those willing to fight for it. And I knew for certain Logan and I were ready to face any challenge together. Our hearts were forever connected, and now we were ready to face the future together, without fear, without doubt, only with love that was stronger than everything.